How you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm doing good. So is this fight actually going to happen?
It is my impression that it's actually going to happen on January 19th in Knoxville. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's wow. I would actually I will be shocked when that actually happens because I would totally expect Tonka to pull out at the last minute and invent some bullshit reason why he can't make it.
Now there is, I guess he could claim an injury. That would be his one way out, but it'd have to be medically, cleared and all that. He signed a contract. There's provisions if he, he can't just. I mean, he could just not show up, but it would be to his financial detriment most likely. So
I haven't been following this like fucking dumpster fire of a situation, but
Sure.
was it or was it not true that he's actually in a wheelchair?
Well, that's not confirmed. I mean, that's the scuttlebutt. A lot of people said that either a wheelchair or some type of severe spinal injury, neck injury that forced him out of the wrestling business.
Did you ever watch that show BattleBots, Ralph, on the Discovery Channel?
I have
Yes,
seen
I have.
BattleBots. Yes.
Okay, so here's my pitch. We get somebody with a little bit of money. We get two of those hover around wheelchair things that fat people always use at Walmart. We
And
put
the rascal
Andy,
scooter. Yeah.
yeah, like a rascal scooter, and then you attach some sort of weaponry to each one. You put Andy in one of them, you put Tonka in the other one, and then you really have a battle royale between the two of them.
Wheelchair jousting.
See, that's a good idea.
I'm not against
Yeah.
that. That kind of
Just go down to the local Walmart, raid your local Walmart, take a couple of those, and yeah, we can make it happen.
Now let's assume the fight takes place, which I am assuming that. I know some people don't think it's going to happen. Who do you have in the fight?
Oh, Warski. Yeah, I mean he's taken several months off. He took a few months off making content, and then he came back. Apparently, he's been training hard. He's been getting into shape for this. Yeah, I back Andy in this.
By the way, I know what gym he's training at. He didn't mention it. He's asked me not to mention it publicly. It is a very reputable gym, and I can't wait until after the fight when we can actually say everything. He is training at a very, very reputable place. And if people knew where it was, they'd be like, "Whoa, are you serious?" Yeah, that's actually where it is. So
training with the Lin Kuei.
yeah, it's real reputable. It's not a joke place. I know Tonka's made some claims that turned out to be false, that he was training at some place that didn't even exist, I think, and just a lot of bullshit. But Warski is actually training at a very reputable place. So
Andy's training to master his hamon.
all right, so what's been going on with you recently, James?
Well, aside from being blasted surreptitiously there in the DMs by Kraut, which I'm shaking in my boots over here, Ralph, about what Kraut's going to say about me.
You know what?
Sweaty, fucking greasy, grifting $60 to buy a Red Dead Redemption motherfucker.
You know what? I almost forgot about that. I was going to bring that up. I had that written out earlier. Like, yes, ask him about Kraut, and I had completely forgotten about it. Yeah, he said that you had faked your attack there. I guess it was it Antifa that hit you in the head with a pole or something like that, right? I guess you could tell the audience.
Yeah, so this was in January 2017, the night before the Trump inauguration. I was at the Deplorable event, where like Mike Cernovich and Lauren Southern and all of them were. But I was outside getting into it with the protesters and other people there. And after being sexually assaulted really by Cassie Dillon is what it looks like in the video. You know, Cassie Dillon, the girl that Nick Fuentes gets into it with on Twitter. There's a video where she I shouldn't say sexually assaulted, but she makes a pass at me. She grabs my arm. Yeah, it's very scandalous for a good Zionist conservative.
I was going to say she's a big supporter of Israel.
Yeah, for a Zionist goyette like herself. To be making a move after me. It was very
now, I know you're a
scandalous.
happily married man at this point in time, but
at that point I wasn't.
Yeah,
no,
no,
at that point I was.
She wanted the D. Is that what you're intimating here? Possibly.
That's, I could not speak to her motivations, but yeah, that's what it seemed like. Anyway, after that, there was some guys. I think his name was his name was literally Alex Rodriguez. I'm pretty sure because he got arrested, and I got to see the papers. He steals my mag, or no, some other Antifa steals my MAGA hat. I turn around and grab him and put him in a chokehold, and then this other Antifa comes and punches me in the face, and undercover cops swarm them, arrest the guy who punched me, and take him away. And then I went and gave a statement, and then I came back out. about 15 minutes later, and we were getting ready to leave, and it was myself and about 3 other guys, and Antifa start pursuing us, and so we're kind of walking away. And then one of them has an Antifa flag, and he swings the flagpole down, and it's a big wooden flagpole, and it connects right with the back of my head. And so I start bleeding instantly. I don't lose consciousness. At no point did I lose consciousness, but I was shocked at what happened. And I turn around and there's a video of it somewhere. Grabbed my head, bleeding everywhere. And of course, because police, to serve and protect, right? What a joke. Cops are standing there. There's several cops standing there, and none of them do anything to arrest the guy. And so that's how I ended up, sort of bloody on the sidewalk.
Now, Kraut speculated that this was ketchup that you had smeared all over yourself, and this was a...
Yeah, I don't know what they might have laws about ketchup over on Cuck Island or wherever he lives, that it has to have a certain consistency, but Kraut, that is much too fine. It is not nearly viscous enough to be ketchup. And also I saw his message there. He's like, oh, he's smiling. You don't smile after you're injured. Kraut, it's called being in shock. Right. when you go into shock after being assaulted or getting in an accident, you're not expressing emotions as you would under normal circumstances. Right. And so, yeah, I mean, if he wants to call that a false flag or whatever, he's free to do so. I think Jared Holt has actually insinuated that too, that it was a false flag. And Jared, if you would like to see how it feels to be injured in a flagpole injury, I'm sure there are some guys who could set that up if you'd like to simulate that. And you could go through a little workshop.
It's almost like they're working out of the same playbook here, isn't it? Like they're in contact.
It's almost like that Kilroy event article about Base Mama, about how I threatened and like harassed Base Mama for saying, hey, can I do my panel? Oh, I can't. Okay, I quit. It's almost like David Sherratt was the source for that, was he not?
I believe and Kraut is actually quoted in the article himself.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Curious. I don't know. A coincidence. One of those coincidences there.
It's these media elites that are all working together behind the scenes.
See a couple super chats about People's Populist Press. Sent me some screenshots and a link. I'll look at that later on for sure. Critical says Tonka is certainly now believing the only way he can get out of this is if nobody can fight. Watch out for threats. Call-in threats to the venue, wouldn't put it past him. I honestly wouldn't put much of anything past him at this point. He didn't sound. I don't know if you heard the part of the show where we were playing his call versus his interview versus Andy's interview, but he sounded. First off, he sounded high. He actually sounded high, and then he just really down in the dumps, like he wasn't excited about this at all. And Andy's talking about, I can't wait to beat his ass, and shouting out the kill stream, and who knows, maybe I'll fight some more after this. It was just night and day between the two. But
it must be nice just to be able to live in a trailer and not have a job and just collect welfare because your people got like moved on the Trail of Tears 600 years ago. Must be nice.
Now he does. No, wait a minute. He does have a job there at the family car lot. It's a very extravagant car lot. I won't pull the picture up, but it's about as you would expect there. But apparently he shows up when he wants to show up. That was the quote from one of the employees there at the car lot. He doesn't seem to be very dedicated to the family business.
AKA Mouse in chat says Trailer of Tears.
How have I never heard that before? It seems so obvious. Oh my god. Con.Tyrio says, Ralph, where can I find archived episodes pre-stream me? I looked for an episode from April on YouTube, but it was deleted recently. Some of those are archived on BitChute. If you search for the Ralph Retort on BitChute, others are missing. I have a personal collection of archives. A few are actually lost to history, unless other people have archives. But I have a lot of I have almost every episode archived myself, but there might be 10 to 15 that I actually don't have. But some of them are archived on BitChute. Going back to August, from August 10th on, every episode is up on the podcast site, which is linked underneath the stream. But yeah, some of those got lost, unfortunately. You know how it goes, James. We got
Andy better watch out. Make sure he doesn't get scalped if he loses this match. Concerned for him.
I'm really. Do you think Tonka's going to show up?
No. Yeah. Okay. So I would expect, and I don't. Again, like I said, I don't follow this super closely, so I'm not in touch with the psychology of each person involved here. But based on what I know, I would fully expect, like you mentioned earlier, a fake bomb threat or something to that effect. Because Tonka, he wants to pull out of this, obviously, but he needs to find a way that he can do it while saving face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he can't just walk away.
Or mysterious hamstring injury on the eve of the fight or something like that. That's kind of what I'm worried about, some type of injury, because that's one of the things, I don't know the contract details because they're private between the two. They're not allowed to share the details, but I know most fighter contracts will have, even the big prize fights, I've seen them be canceled because, there's an injury or he broke his hand or something like that.
So are they going to be doing like a weigh-in and the whole 9 yards?
Yep. So Warski and I have and Coach Red Pill is going to be there with us as well. Dick Masterson's coming to town. We have the townhouse. I've been calling it a condo, but it's probably more accurate to call it a townhouse. We have the place rented there in Knoxville. We're going to be getting in on Thursday. The weigh-in is Friday night, I believe, or late afternoon. So yeah, that's when it's scheduled. Then the fight on Saturday. Me and Warski and Coach Red Pill coming down to the ring. It's really gonna be a spectacle if it actually takes place.
Will there or will there not be a ball pit?
I mean, to my knowledge, no official ball pit, but maybe we need to make that happen.
I think it has to happen.
It's
careful, that might lure Sargon out.
Medicare Finbot says Ralph bullies the entire Kumite in a single hangout. Andy will bully Donka in real life. Will the bully hunters help this poor girl? No, they won't. Despised username says you need bouncy castle to go along with the ball pit. Bouncy castles are fun. They used to be my favorite thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Now it's been about I won't say how many years, quite a few years since I've actually been in one, but
even better, have them do the fight in the bouncy castle. So that way you can do ridiculous suplexes and head
crazy
slams and
flips
stuff.
And shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's a wheelchair working at bouncy castle?
That might poke a hole, and I'm not sure that's gonna fly.